It's not killer of fun. I wanted to have fun. It would have been a more fun draft to draft the people who should be unhappy, who should be chagrined, disappointed, upset by the events of the first day of free agency. So in lieu of coming up with a better idea, that's the idea for today. The people who should be the most unhappy based upon 2 days of free agency. And yes, I know it technically begins today, but it began on Monday as a practical matter. If you haven't been paying attention, free agency is upon us. All right, Chris, you have a trivia question for me, and I have not looked at it.
Okay, here we go. 50-50 chance here, all right? Mitchell Trubisky has 50 starts. Tyrod Taylor has 53. Which of them has more career wins?
Trubisky, without question. It's Trubisky.
There we go. 29-26. There you go. Boom. Yeah. Way to go.
He's gone to the playoffs twice. That's what I don't understand. All these people in Pittsburgh are freaking out about Mitchell Trubisky. He's been to the playoffs twice with a team that's a lot like the Steelers. Great defense and just enough around him on offense.
Yeah, well, and I would go, wait, he didn't have Deontay Johnson or Chase Claypool in Pittsburgh. He didn't, in Chicago. That's he got more firepower outside than he ever had there. And he didn't have Najee Harris either. He's a bump up from anything he ever had in Chicago. So, let's see how this plays out, Pittsburgh fans, before you go crazy.
Well, the first pick for me is an easy one. We talked about it earlier. Jerry Jones should be the most unhappy because he lost Randy Gregory due to his own stubbornness and failure to understand the nuance of a contract that the Cowboys go beyond the minimum that is required. They try to make it even harder for guys to keep their guaranteed money by tying a void of the guarantee to even a fine under the substance abuse policy. For Randy Gregory, it put $14 million at risk in the second year of the contract. It was not an acceptable situation for him. The Cowboys had a chance to match what the Broncos were willing to do by way of language. Cowboys said no. Cowboys aren't happy. Jerry Jones isn't happy, and he should be unhappy, but he primarily should be unhappy, Chris, with himself.
Agreed. No question there. No doubt about it. I think they went a little too far with that language, 100%. I understand Randy Gregory and his camp not being comfortable with that. I do. So, I'm not shocked that he made that switch once that language was not taken out of there. All right. I think the one I'm going to go with here next. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go with another one we talked about earlier today. It not necessarily hasn't directly affected him, but it is affecting him. Baker Mayfield. I'm going to say that. Yeah, we know he hasn't been traded yet or anything, but free agency has revealed what Cleveland thinks of Baker Mayfield. That's what I'll say, nonetheless. And it does seem like, again, they're doing everything they can to ship him out of town. I get the sense that Cleveland's sick of Baker Mayfield. That's what I've been led to believe a little bit. And, it seems that way. I thought, okay, maybe if Watson's there, yeah, I understand them, trading him, getting rid of him then. But it sounds like they're looking to get rid of him no matter what, whether Watson comes there or not. So that would be, the guy I'll take there, Baker Mayfield.
I'll take the rest of the NFC South other than the Buccaneers. Because once Tom Brady comes back, the right. Bucs not just keep key guys, add key guys, and now you got the other three teams falling all over themselves to get Deshaun Watson, despite the warning signs there arising from the 22 pending civil lawsuits. So the Panthers, the Saints, the Falcons, unhappy with how the past few days have gone. Yeah, I'm sure they're not exactly happy. You're exactly right. I mean, they're all trying to look for damn quarterbacks right now, and the team they're trying to beat in the division's got their quarterback. And the Falcons have one. I know. The Falcons have Matt Ryan, the 11th best quarterback in the NFL. Come on. No, it is interesting. It really is what their thought is behind that. Are they posturing? Are they saying, so what? We'll deal with the dead money for a year with Matt Ryan just to have the next 8 or 10 years with Deshaun Watson? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, again, it seems to be going through an awful lot just to drive up the trade for the Saints and the Panthers. I will say that. Again, we talk about quarterbacks and their feelings and all that. Matt Ryan's got to be sitting there going, wait, what the hell's going on here? He's not Baker Mayfield releasing a statement on, Instagram or Twitter or whatever. All right. Honey Badger, that's who I'm going with next. Honey Badger, it's official. He's no longer a Kansas City Chief. That time is gone. It's over. It's not going to happen. I'll throw him in there. Again, I think this is a guy that's, been posturing for, top-tier
safety market type of money for about the last year and a half and wanted the contract extension. But Kansas City, I think, realized or sees the writing on the wall that play is going, in a downward direction at this point of Honey Badger's career. Still a good player, but not in the conversation for top safeties in football anymore. He's got to be disappointed, that they signed Justin Reed from the Houston Texans, and now he's got to find a new team. And it's never easy leaving a team that, you had some great years with and, of course, won a Super Bowl.
We're going to take a break, and that gives us time to carefully contemplate our selections for round 3 of the draft, the folks who should be most unhappy with free agency so far. We'll do that when we wrap up this Wednesday edition of PFT Live right after this. All right, we're going to wrap up the draft, unhappiest via free agency so far. Last one for me, and I'm going to go to the Lions for 2 reasons. Number one, the chances of having Aiden Hutchinson available to be picked at number 2 have gone down between the Jaguars franchise tagging Cam Robinson and signing Brandon Scherf.
Right.
They're most likely to go pass rusher, and if Hutchinson's the guy over Kayvon Thibodeau, Hutchinson's not going to be there to stay in Michigan. And secondly, with quarterbacks kind of available, upgrades over Jared Goff kind of available, that trade they did, and I know they got 2 1s and a 3 for the Stafford for Goff thing, but they're contractually so tied to Goff, they can't jump in. It's harder to jump in. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll just say screw it if they can get Baker Mayfield, who fits the mentality so much better than Jared Goff does. I just think that there's got to be some frustration that they, number one, are likely to not get Hutchinson, and number 2, they can't move on from Goff to try to get one of these other guys that's out there.
Yeah, I think they're kind of stuck as far as it's concerned with the other guys. The draft, though, could still be a thing, definitely. You can't forget they got picked 32 and 33, so that's going to give them some wiggle room to jump back up in the first round and maybe make a move, get into the late teens for a quarterback if somebody's there. I could certainly see that happening, too. That's got to be a possibility. The Aiden Hutchinson thing you're saying, yeah, that is one where, you evaluate it. You're right. I don't know what Jacksonville's going to do. The franchise tie to Cam Robinson. Also, let's not forget, they drafted a tackle in the second round last year, Walker Little from Stanford, who's very talented, but was out of football because of COVID and all that. All right, my next one, I'm going to stay with a tackle. I'm going to go with Teron Armstead. Teron Armstead has got to be looking at it a little bit going, damn, I'm a free agent. When I'm healthy, I am one of the best tackles in football. But he's getting up there in age, and health is a little bit of a question mark, definitely. And for a left tackle, he's not as big as they usually come as far as 305 pounds, a little bit of a skinnier frame. But he's got to be frustrated that there's been no nibbles or big-time offers yet.
And, it's still just getting started, but the big money tends to flow early. And then the question is, what's the best deal you can get?
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.